Esta mierda está demasiado mostra. Está demasiado mostra nosotros. Ahí nos suena como de los 90, ahí nos suena como que, no sé, demasiado malandro.
Greetings, and welcome to afterhiphop.com. I'm the legendary DJ Raw.
Stepping from the shadows into light can be blinding. Your eyes must adjust to the change. The same analogy can be made when we begin to change our mindset. Often, we don't recognize changes must be made until we find ourselves in dire circumstances. In 1997, djrawmiami was living life with no focus, making fast money and amassing material things. However, the type of energy he was attracting would ultimately land him in trouble with the law. His situation was intensified when he was the focus of a high-profile case. Facing prison time caused him great anxiety and fear. Fear of the unknown is normal. The message in this handbook, afterhiphop.com presents Jailhouse Talk, contains tips to help you channel your fear into positivity. The laws of attraction are real and can change your life, even when you feel you are at your lowest. Hope is never lost. Equip yourself to find your path from darkness so you may step into your light. Get your copy today and begin your evolution.
Let's keep it moving. We getting money.
Keep it moving. 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 Don't slow down.
Keep it moving, this a hit track. Remix 4-piece, watch it jump back. It's that D-boy talk, sweet wrist money. Bands on marijuana, stop, crypto money blowing. Hard work paying off, whole family torn. Bringing peace to the world, yeah, I'm laid cure. We keep it rolling lights on.
They running hurdles like a rabbit runs against a turtle. But in the race of time, patience is our only virtue. My son is Virgo with an Aries moon inside my circle. A rising house, that's in Taurus, now that's universal. I'm Afro-Cuban, un palero born from my maternal.
Keep it moving. 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 Don't slow down.
Keep it moving, this a hit track. Remix 4-piece, watch it jump back. It's that D-boy talk, sweet wrist money. Bands on marijuana, stocks, crypto money blowing. Hard work paying off, whole family torn. Bringing peace to the world, yeah, I'm laid cure. We keep it rolling, lights on the vine balling. Shoot stars falling, God.
Bless. How you doing? I'm the legendary DJ Raw. I'm known for doing Miami Wynwood's first original hip-hop jam in the park that kind of changed the whole vibration here in South Florida. Now, don't get me wrong. Before Hoodstock, there was other little pods of events going on. You know, they threw a jam, 60 people showed up. You know, heads here and there. And I'm not knocking it because I'm all for that hip-hop movement that was going down. Late 80s, early 90s. And then in 1994, we did the first original hip-hop jam in Roberto Clemente Park, also known as Puerto Rican Town. And it set off. That first event, I'm going to tell you this, without proper advertisement, the flyers, we forgot to put the address, the time the event was going off, but the net was there. The net was there, KOP, 1,400 brothers deep in the Tri-Counties. The net was there, and what happened was, about 500 people showed up for that first Hoodstock where we recorded the video. Wynwood is the city, Miami is the area. Zulu Grams mixed it down, Enemy produced the track, and yeah, I believe even Speedy Legs was in that video if I'm not mistaken, but I know we had some break dancers there that got down and did their thing. As a matter of fact, yeah, I want to big up all the B-boys that were there for that event. Troll, all the brothers that represented. But I've always been about helping other people because I've been blessed And a lot of people in the industry, even coming up, when they were coming up, like I could talk about DJ Khaled when he was coming up. I've been blessed to be able to have a platform where a brother like DJ Khaled was able to come to the station at whatever given time he wanted to and spin for hours, for endless hours, repeatedly happening. I was blessed to be able, like for Tony Touch, I was able to buy his keyboard where he was producing his first beats. Watch this. Purchase his first beat that he produced, and you know, I've been blessed like this. I've been blessed to sponsor and support all kind of events, from How Can I Be Down to Rocksteady to Universal Zoo Nation events, and it goes on, because the Most Highest has been working in my favor. And that's right. And everyone saw my rise, right? I was, you know, the young guy, you know, following the NWA and the Public Enemy and the gangs and stuff like that. I was, how can I say, influenced. And when I got influenced by the West Coast, because that's when I said, well, you know, they doing it over there. Niggas with an attitude are going off, right? So why we don't do this? And I said, well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Where is that? Hard Knocking Niggas from Wynwood. This will be our first album. The single to this was Lunatic State of Mind. This is the KOP here. And I could, you know, introduce some of these guys. This is DJ Eon, Old Dog. They had to be an old dog in the crew, right? And this is the brother they fear the most. We have Brooklyn, The Enemy, right? Radamez, Jay at the bottom, Rick the Tech, and we all know who Courage is. Okay, so there it is. And if you're wondering where I'm at, I'm the gold teeth. I'm DJ Raw. I'm the guy smiling. So that's where it's at. And we were influenced, and a lot of people kind of laughed at us in the beginning. They were like, oh man, y'all guys, y'all serving drugs and y'all a bunch of butterheads over there. Y'all talking about you're going to do an album. And, you know, I had even mentioned this to some of my boys, you know, high rollers, big ballers. And when I'm talking about big ballers, you know, I'm going to tell you the thing. When you see a lot of flogging, there's a good possibility there's nothing behind it. Because all the gurus that I knew, all the big timers I knew, didn't even wear gold chains or none of that. And they were dripping, like they say today, sauced out in bread. For real, they had endless money. And they were doing it big time. And then I noticed that the workers were the ones wearing the big chains. They were the ones that were working for the real big dog. And that's just my perception. I'm not hating on nobody, because I got my dookie chains too. Everyone knows I get duped out as well. But right now, my time where I'm living right now, I'm kind of connecting more to the earth, you know, and I'm real selective of what, you know, the jewelry I put on. I'm very, very selective what kind of energy I'm putting on my body. But let's get back to being influenced, right? I got influenced. I love NWA, Snoop, Death Row Records, because Death Row Records even sponsored Hoodstock as well. That's right. You know, back when we did 1995, 96, they were sending us artists. They were helping us out as well. Watch this. Dr. Dre was sending us records to 917 WJHH. We're Just Hip Hop. That was our pirate station, and we could go all into that. That's a whole other podcast. We're just talking about why. The why. Raw, why? What are you doing, man? I said, well, you know what I'm doing? I'm in that position where I like to help, you know, and, you know, again, I just hear a lot of people throwing this word around so loosely, you know, love. I showed you love, man, you know, because you came and hung out, because you put your arm around me and gave me a selfie. That's love? Nah, man, that's not love. Love is an action word, man, okay? And we have to clearly understand that if you are in a position to help someone financially, you know, you have the knowledge, you should give it away. You know, that's mostly, but most of all, what we need, the real love is right here. I've been blessed, and I'm talking to almost anyone and everyone I know, and you know, if you know me personally, you know what kind of a brother I am. Okay, I'm that kind of brother that I'm easy to help you. You know, I make conscious decisions. Don't get me wrong. If you come with a babbling story, doesn't mean I'm gonna kick out the bread for it. That's not what it means. What I'm saying is this: I've seen brothers that have come to me like Speedy Legs. You know, back in the days, he came to me. He showed me a piece of paper. Look at this paper here, man. It looked like an NBA, a basketball logo, but it was a b-boy doing a handstand, right? And he was the first time I ever heard of b-boying ever going to the Olympics was through Speedy Legs. He came at me, he said, bro, look at this logo. One day b-boying is going to the Olympics. And you know what? I said, one day it is. Because there's a saying where two or more are on one accord, right? Or praying, or have that same faith, right? The mastermind, the most highest, whatever you want to call it, you know, gets involved. That third element, that energy source, infinite intelligence comes right in. And I believed in the brother since day one. So much that I invested in his project. I invested in the pro amp. I gave him my proposal. I said, here, bro, take the proposal, alter it so you could get sponsors and get people to, you know, go ahead and believe in your event. And I've been blessed like this to be able to help many people in the hip-hop industry, help them fulfill their dreams. And I'm not tooting my horn. It's not what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like bragging about what I did. I'm just so grateful that I was able to do these things over and over and over again. I was so blessed that I was able to record, open up my studio and help record Mass Confusion's album. And you're like, who's Mass Confusion? Well, there it is. That's the Zopound. Red Eyes and the brothers, they came through, you know, and they recorded albums inside of our studio. And we were able to do that. We were able to let Gucci, the original Gucci that we know from down here from Miami, to get down to record. Courage and his people, they were able to come through and do their stuff. Little Half Pint, after his contract was up with Island Records, I believe that's who he was signed to. Don't quote me on that one. When his contract was up, it was either Island Records or Luke Records. He was signed to someone, a local label. And when his contract was up, he came over and we signed him. We put him on the Raw Records. And he was able to continue generate capital, continue to stay in the limelight, and continue to chase his dreams and aspirations. And that's where that's at. When the Most Highest blesses you, when the Most Highest opens up these doors for you, remember, you're only a manager, you know? Open up other doors for other people that were in the same situation and circumstances that you were in when you were seeking help. And never think ever, and this is for the big ballers and for the broke brothers as well, don't ever think that you're gonna stop stop them from hitting their maximum plateau that hit you. You can't do that, man, because what the more, I don't care how many of you come together and, you know, don't let them in, don't sign them, doesn't matter, man, because what the Most Highest got planned for the individual, nobody can stop that. No one, no amount of money, nobody, no one can stop that, because you know what? The best of planners already has a plan for that individual. We've been setting up LLCs, me personally, right? I do like studying law. You know, I'm kind of infatuated with it, you know, because it's something that they should be teaching in school. You know, they shouldn't be teaching like Columbus discovered the United States, because he ain't discovered a goddamn thing, in my opinion. But what they should be teaching is law, becoming lawful, knowing the difference between law and legal. You should know the difference between both, you know, but that's your responsibility, because if you're not gonna open up books and do research, well then I only got one thing to say is, to you be your way, to mine be mine. But I'm gonna tell you this, if you're not going in them books and you ain't doing the research, bro, you're not gonna find it. You ain't gonna Google this one, you know. You're gonna run into circumstances where you're going to have to be, look, a lawyer is only as good as the client is. Okay, you can have Perry Mason on your side, but if you don't know how to dictate and tell him what to do for you, and you don't know how to do the research yourself, your attorney sucks. But really it's you that sucks, because you don't take time out to read. You want someone else to do that for you, and that's where the issue lies. But let's keep moving forward. I've been blessed this month. The Library of Congress is going to, you know, there's a group of people that are going to attend the largest book fair in Washington, D.C. And the lady, I got sold right away. She came at me, you know, and she told me, look, we had a revolution, we had Donald Trump, and it's in Washington, D.C., it's the Library of Congress, and guess who's behind the American flag? Your boy DJ Raw. So that was an easy sell, you know, straight up. That was an easy sell. And by the way, you can find afterhiphop.com presents Jailhouse Talk. You can find this on Barnes and Nobles, most book outlets, and Amazon as well. I'm very excited. I'm very proud, you know, of my small accomplishments, you know, staying focused. But like, getting back to the point, afterhiphop.com is exactly that. Everyone has to have a plan, and after you're done with your career, what's next? What's the next move? What's the end result? We got some artists that are still in the game right now, gurus, you know what I'm saying? The Tony Touches, the Jay-Z's, the Crazy Legs. We got these individuals that were blessed by the Most Highest to continue a long life in the industry, to continue to generate capital, inspire and influence people, and the Most Highest continue to bless them. That's being real. But on the other hand, you know, I know a lot of individuals that went in, went out, and are dead broke. Made a lot of money, did a lot of shows, but you know what they didn't have? They didn't have someone to tell them, yo, it's time to purchase. Excuse me, man. Let me go ahead and kill this here real quick. I'm sorry about that interruption. But I know a lot of brothers, I'm just being straight up, because, and I'm not going to mention their names because I don't want any, you know, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, you know? So anyway, with that being said, they made a lot of money, they had a lot of fun, they used a lot of drugs, had a lot of women, a lot of jewelry, right? Bought the big cars, bought the big girl, you know, had the big girl, the big house and all that, and guess what? No record sales. So now you got a big paycheck, right? You blew it, and now you're committed. But watch this, you have no finances coming in. So now, first thing that goes away is the big house. The girl goes away because you can't afford her, right? Next they come for the auto, right? Because you can't pay it, it goes into repo. From foreclosure to breaking up to repo, right? Now you're holding on to your gold chains and you're holding on for dear life. We could change that if we learn how to focus on the end result. Where do you wind up in the next 5 years? Because there's a little saying that life pays you every 5 years. You'll see the residual. You can look back and say, hey, 5 years up, you take a look what I've created. And you probably could be real happy and say, wow, Look at my wife, look at my children, look at my autos, look at my home, look at my land, look at these trips I took. Man, it's good. Life is good, right? And then you open up your journal or your dream book, right? Or wherever you write your goals at, and then you go check it. Wow, I accomplished this when I said I was gonna accomplish. Manifestation. I accomplished this when I said I was gonna do it. Oh, this came 2 years later, but watch this, it came through anyway. So I gotta give thanks, right? So every 5 years you could look back and say, wow, look what I created, or you can look back and say, damn, I ain't did a damn thing. You know, so what I'm telling artists when they come to the station is, look, my people, you need to work on an end result. You need to jot it down. Where do you land? Have a plan, an after plan, after hip hop, what you're going to do with your finances, because today an artist is here and could come out with a banger, and in 6 months, a year, he's gone. You don't even know who the heck was he, you know? And tops 3 years. Make a whole lot of money. Don't get me wrong, you can make a whole lot of money in 1 year. In 3 years, you could do this, absolutely. But you gotta plan an end result, because that's where it lands. And I'm not gonna even front on you, oh, I got all these millions and all this gold chain. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, I used to live in fear, saying, man, what I'm gonna do, man, after I hit that 50 mark, you know? Not doing that no more. You know why? Because I have an end result already planned. And guess what? I've been fortunate. It's all in the book. Build my home from the ground up, brand new home, building a second home, right? Land here, Puerto Rico, right? Okay. So I'm not, you count the numbers. You tell me where I'm at, okay? Where I'm at up here. Okay, yeah, I had millions before when I went in, but guess what? That money had like a dark energy on it because of the way we got that money. All right, this money is heavenly sent. It's blessed by the Most Highest, because we're focused on not hurting anybody. I won't sell narcotics. I won't do that. I'm sorry, can't do that anymore. You know why? Because I woke up. When I woke up and I knew what I was doing to my people, I had to say, I ain't doing that shit no more. And then when I looked at my history, I looked at my people, my elders, you know, because I come from a couple of generations of gangbangers, heroin addicts, big time drug dealers, you know. This is my life, you know. And guess what? I'm not even mad at them. You know why? Because that shit builds character. The way I've lived, look, 3 years in solitary confinement, that's another show. Never mind almost 11 years in prison, and if we add it all up together, it could probably be 13, 14 years. If I add up the 3 months, the 2 months, the 2 weeks, a year and a day in 1980, if I add it all up, 13, 14 years locked up. None of that time was wasted. You know why? Because the first bid actually gave me street credibility. The second bid woke me up. The second bid, after 3 years in solitary confinement and realizing that there's nobody on your team, you know, there's nobody there that's going to stick it out with you while you're doing time. All right, you could be loyal as you want, okay, but nobody's going to be loyal to you, and that's facts. Okay, when you're locked up, I don't care what they tell you, who tells you, I got your back, I'm gonna look out for your family, I'm gonna look out for your wife. Oh yeah, he's gonna look out for your wife. That's the first one he's gonna look out for. You can bet that. Okay, and no one's got your back. Okay, because I went from a posse of like nearly 48 dudes that were sleeping in my house, in the bus, in the studio, right? Watch this. When I fell, I took the rap for everybody. I did, because they were young men and I didn't want to see them going to prison and going through everything that was about to unfold, and including my ex-wife. You know, I had painted this illusion, if I let them go, I would be good when I come back home. Not so. 18 months later, my ex moved another dude into my house, and I'm not mad at her. I'm just telling you the facts of what happens when you get down and you are on your own. And this is what you need to recognize right now, that it's about you. It's about your end result. So going back to building character, I came home in 2007, focused, had my corporation up and running, started running with Dad, got me a little loan. From the loan, kept moving forward, launched the business, got the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, and freed myself up. And then I also believe that your net determines your net worth, right? So I built me a new net, and it's working just fine. So afterhiphop.com is designed to encourage our youth to focus on an end result, you know, and to also, you know, I'm also going to let them know and be straight up with them. You know, you see a lot of people in these videos with jewelries and big cars and Rolls. More than half of them are other people's cars that they're using. They're renting cars, they're renting jewelry, you know, or a jewelry store. Like, they've come at me, yo, we want to put a Rolex and put all these jewelries on you on your next video. And it's just for you to be aware that a lot of them, that rubs me the wrong way, man. Because and this happened to me as well. Don't get me wrong. You know, I was just blessed to have 35 cars, a pound of jewelry, 4 or 5 houses. You know, I was blessed because the money was overspilling. So even when I made mistakes, the money was overspilling. But that, you know, that's not the point. Everyone doesn't have it that way. The point is that I could have used that money, you know, a little more intelligently to produce a better outcome. And I didn't do that because I didn't have someone coaching me. I didn't have someone that had money that could tell me, yo, I think you should move in this direction. I didn't have that. So you got a brother with $5,000, you know, and then the first time he gets paid, what does he do? He goes buy a big old gold chain, a dunk, and put some big old 22s or 24s on it, whatever, you know, instead of going and buying land or buying a home. Because that's where it's at. True success is how much land and how many homes do you own. Not how many gold chains you got. I just saw like a little snip of Rick Ross, and he took his chains off, threw them away, and he said, you know what? This is where it's at. Land, homes, realty. That's where the success is at. And it's for you, it's for me, it's for all of us. But we have to write it down. You have to chase the dream. And you probably say, man, how? Man, I'm effed out right now. I ain't got no bread. You know, I ain't even got a job. But you got a pen and a paper, right? So write it down and hold on to that dream. Because what you want wants you to. And take baby steps moving towards it. And every time you take 2 steps towards it, it takes 2 steps towards you. Before I purchased this home that we built from the ground up, because we did, me and my wife were homeless, right, for 4 months. And by choice, not because, you know, my wife was by choice. Me was because my mom was on Section 8 and I didn't want to see her thrown out of a Section 8 apartment. So what I did was, I said, you know what, I was sleeping in my van. I was having a little talk with my wife today. We're 14 years married now with 2 beautiful home birth babies, and they're both homeschooled as well. Watch this. It was about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. You know, we were outside talking, smoking a little bit, and she's about to go home. And she says, what you gonna do? And I said, I'm going home too. And she said, where's home at? I said, right there in my van. And she looked at me and she says, you know what? I've been sleeping. She was already like a month prior to me moving in with her into her auto, like a month already doing it. She was already living out her auto. So then for an additional 4 months, we lived together in her car because we didn't have our own place and we were adults. So I guess we could call that homeless, because I couldn't live with my mom and she didn't want to live with hers. So we just made it happen. Where we used to shower, when the sun used to go up, see, I could visit my mom, but I couldn't live with her. So early in the morning, we would go upstairs, have breakfast, jump in the shower, take some showers, take care of our laundry, do what we're going to do, and go out and chase the dream. And we did that consecutively. We did that for 4 months, and it was winter too. And you know when it gets rough? When you get up at 3:30 in the morning and you gotta use the bathroom and it's cold outside and you don't have a toilet or nothing, and you gotta wrap it up, jump in your behind the wheel and find somewhere where you could discharge, you know, you could release yourself. Crucial. But guess what? I'm glad I went through that experience, because today I'm real humble and I really do appreciate where I'm at today in my life. You know, I really, really do. So with that being said, you know, it's just I'm just kicking a little knowledge your way about what's coming on the station. It's gonna take us, you know, a couple of more weeks, because we're tweaking the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. We're tweaking it up. We got the Pro Tools in there. It's gonna be 8 cameras set up in that joker. So from the minute you walk up in the van, we're recording every move you make, and then take you to a remote location of your choice where you'll be able to perform, and we'll be able to shoot it with a drone video and drop a video behind it that you can benefit from for the rest of your life. My name is DJ Raw. Again, I broke bread with you. Here we are, afterhiphop.com. You see what happens here? There it is, Jailhouse Talk. I got nothing but love for you. We're gonna do it like everything else we do. We're gonna take baby steps, and we're gonna continue to move forward towards our dreams and aspirations. I want you to lock in right here on afterhiphop.com, the podcast. My name is DJ Raw. I love each and every one of you. And you know what my saying is, right? I'm staying focused on my end result. Love you. Y'all peace out.